mean, I had always fancied myself like a songwriter, but I would never have played anybody those songs ever. And it wasn't until I was getting more friends were asking me to sing on their tracks that it started to become kind of, I wanted to create my own world with that. And like, honestly, I'm not a very good producer, so I ask for a lot of help. And I think it's important to be transparent with that, because I feel like I am a really strong songwriter and I'm a really strong vocalist, but I ask for support with production, and like as such have been able to create music that I feel it reaches the level of execution that I really want, as opposed to being attached to doing it all myself and having not the quite perfect thing. So in about, I want to say 2009, 2010, I started a duo with my friend Stevie B called NYC Party Info, and that was kind of our first forays into production, and then from there collaborated with Maelstrom, and now Vice Cooler is my primary kind of comrade in that, and it's a really special way to like be able to articulate the the heart, I guess. Yeah, I use Logic. Everybody around me uses Ableton. This is annoying. But I think it's, you know, it's like whatever somebody is most comfortable with. Like I've worked and collaborated with Logic, Ableton, Cubase, and I don't think it's so much like whatever workstation is working with you, but like whatever somebody is most comfortable with is the way to work. I mean, I essentially moved to France for music. It was getting a little bit more challenging to make and play the music I wanted to make and play in the US. And it was really frustrating because the direction I wanted to go just wasn't kind of taking off there. And I had the offer from Bromance, which is the label I was affiliated with at the time. Like, I was living in Los Angeles, and they were like, a 9-hour time difference. It makes it difficult to even have a phone call. So either move here and we can have a booking agent, a management, a label, and a publisher ready. Or you can stay in LA and just like do it yourself. So I was like, I'll move to France. But at the same time, it was like there was so much exciting music going on here at that time, and also historically up till present. You know, it was Bromance, it was Zone, it was Ed Banger, it was Sound Pellegrino. It was such a, it seemed like this is where the scene was. And so it felt really exciting to kind of arrive here as that wave was kind of cresting. And I'd say the difference between the ecosystems of dance music in the US and France, I haven't lived in the US now for like 6.5 years, which is embarrassing because my French still sucks. But here there's a lot more, I think culturally France has a deep and like inherited appreciation for art, and therefore has government subsidies for artists that allow people to make music that they want to make instead of having to do that plus a day job or kind of alter a sound more commercially, as we might have to do in the US to get by. So I think because of that, France allows artists to take a lot more risks and make a lot more bold choices, and that's been really exciting because it means that as an artist, like you have a cushion. You know, it's not, you're just not like jumping out of an airplane. And I think that leads to a really exciting and fertile scene. And I mean, also it's much smaller, you know, like, and I think that means that everybody's listening to everybody all the time. And of course that, because of the internet, that's existed for a long time, but I feel like the US has like smaller pockets of scenes, whereas France, like, it's hard to keep your eyes on your own paper, so there's more cross-pollination of sound, and it's really exciting. Like, it's musically and culturally and creatively really exciting as a result. I've done everything. And especially after, I felt like after kind of the Serato era from like early 2006 to 2008 for me, I felt like I had too much choice. Like I felt like my taste had kind of gotten off course because there was just too many options. When you have your entire musical library at your fingertips, it's very difficult to be discerning. So for a while I was playing all vinyl, which was such a good experience in learning how to buy music and like invest in something you believe in and really get to know records. Unfortunately, then I moved to Europe and lived up, and then moved like 5 times in my first year in France, and couldn't bring all my records from the US, so I started playing on USB sticks, and that's where I'm at today, just because it's the easiest way to A, travel, and B, also test out new material. Like, you can make something and finish it at 5 p.m. and play it at 5 a.m., and that's amazing. A couple weeks ago, I tweeted this thing that was like, be brave, be weird, fuck it up. And then it got like 1,200 retweets, and I was like, oh. And a lot of feedback I got was like, that's easy for you to say, you know, like you're not clearing the room. So I would say, like, know who you're playing for, but also don't be afraid to be yourself. Because I can't tell you how sick I am of hearing the same demo over and over again that just sounds like, you know, everything else. Like, I think the way to succeed in this industry, other than a lot of luck, and I'm not going to delude myself about the fact that, like, I'm not incredibly lucky for having gotten this far, being so weird, but is to really, like, make authentic work that you love and believe in. And if you can get 5 people to really be into it, and they can have their 5 friends really be into it, eventually you'll have a full room of getting to do what you want. Because I think the danger is if you make something to please a crowd, eventually you will hate it. You know, and that is soul-crushing feeling. So yeah, be weird, do you.